Hey everybody, welcome back to Hobby Night, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Skulls event, the leaked Horus Heresy new edition, and of course, the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy collab, because, oh man, we got some card reveals and they look amazing. Let's get right to it.
If you're like me and you've been on the internet recently, you might have seen rumors, even full leaks, of a new edition of Warhammer Horus Heresy, and they turn out to be true. GW, instead of having a panic about it, instead embraced the fact that they got some leaks, threw together an entire video and an entire website focusing on what was leaked. So today I want to go ahead and talk about that with you, as well as a couple other things, but let's dive into the Horus Heresy video. Because they've been waiting, they've been planning, they had hoped. This video almost makes me think that this was planned entirely. The leaks were intentionally put out there because they just wanted to make this one ridiculous, very, very silly, almost cringe joke.
I think it's just hearsay.
Oh my goodness.
You've been waiting a long time to say that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think they have. I think this video is legit. I think they have been waiting to be able to say and call it hearsay because it is a joke on heresy. But they made an entire website focusing on some of the things that were leaked. And I wanted to go over those with you now because there's a couple of things that specifically looked really cool. One, we get to look at some sprues, of course, get to look at a couple of new weapons, which is very, very neat. We get some metal broken pieces on bases, which looks really cool, of some damaged dreadnoughts perhaps, which is very, very neat. I love sculpted bases. I'm a big fan of them. I think they make painting and getting your bases looking even spiffier and like cool and just completed and fully done even easier, because if it's sculpted, you're gonna have the desire to paint it. And I know some people just really neglect their bases, and I want that to change. I want everybody to have beautiful, wonderful bases because I just really think it makes the scene come together. So seeing this, I really like seeing this debris, assuming that's gonna be able to put around. We also have some brand new tokens, which I do think is very, very cool, although I don't really know what they mean yet. Titan Shock is supposedly what this is calling out, but I don't know specifically what Titan Shock as a rule is going to be. I'm assuming it's gonna be some sort of like either damage or maybe you lose a turn or something like that because you took damage from a Titan, hence the Titan Shock name, but who knows. We also got some details on some dreadnoughts, and I think this is what has everybody really, really excited, because we look at the box for Saturnine, which is what it's going to be called, and we see some big, chunky, the largest dreadnoughts I think I've ever seen, and I love them. Oh my god, do I love them. Look at the shoulders. Just look how round he is. Look how thick he is. Look how just broad and like powerful. I want 100 of them. I just want to see 100 of them lined up in a row for no particular reason. I don't want to own them. I just want to see that vast quantity in a little line together as like an army on parade or something. And it would be amazing because they're so majestic. It is also huge. It is very, very large, which GW of course makes a joke of like, this can't be real. Clearly the people who put this together don't know the true size of a dreadnought because this is too big. But we all know that they've been upscaling things for a while, and frankly, the stuff coming out of Horus Heresy has been chunky and thick and frankly gigantic, super girthy, and I've been loving it. So seeing this really extra thick boy for a dreadnought doesn't surprise me at all that they're continuing to push that direction. We also got a look at some of the books and dice and the other things that are coming in there, which is very exciting. Now, they are calling out that there's no D18 in this, and there has been a rumor to be a D18 in the box set. We'll get to that in a bit. There is, they do in fact show the D18. So this little joke that they made about it being fake is a little silly. We did take a look at our Dreadnought again, who has 2 humongous plasma cannons. Why? Is he compensating for something? No, he just looked at his shoulders and went, I could have thicker forearms too. Give me 2 plasma cannons, I need both of them. And then he's just gonna go and absolutely wreck something. And it'll be glorious and probably very bright. I imagine the flash from a plasma cannon is quite blinding, so we might all lose our vision, but it'll be really cool. Maybe that's why it's so flashy. Maybe that's why they refer to them as flashy sometimes, is because they're literally blinding you with their plasma cannons. And I'm very excited about it. I'm ready to be blinded. This was I do admit this joke was dumb, but I really liked it because they're continuing to lean into the like large size joke, which fits me so very, very well. So the fact that they were like small parts and they're looking at the Dreadnought going, these aren't small parts at all. I see what you did there, GW, and I appreciate you. Moving on, however, we did get to take a look at some other new weapons that appear to be coming in the box set, and they are nothing like the bolter that we are familiar with, which doesn't surprise me because Horus Heresy is the period where they actually had really weird, funky weapons, and we're getting some of those in this new box set, which is very, very cool. They then make a joke about how this was clearly taken, these photos were taken by a child because it had to be between the ages of 3 and 12. That was the only person who could handle just the outside of the box. Very, very silly. They did show us a number of other sprue details, which I just think look neat. It's lovely to see some of these. We have a tactical pouch, which looks like it's an optional thing. Does that mean that it's gonna have optional rules tied to it, or if it's just an aesthetic choice? My guess is it's an aesthetic choice, but they're trying to make it seem like it might have some rules tied to it. What's your thoughts down in the comments? Let me know. We've seen a lot about flame weapons, both increasing in the size of their range and everything, as well as decreasing in the range that they fire. So who knows what's going on there, but because they have been talking about flame weapons a lot, they are implying that we might be getting salamanders in this box, which if that is true,
the paint jobs are.
The paint job is definitely, and I hope that's what they're actually pushing. Like, I really hope that's what they're legitimately pushing is like just full on salamanders, because that is so cool. I feel like salamanders are a chapter that does not get focused on very much by the company. And I love that they're actually getting some focus, because I actually think not only is their color scheme and just aesthetic really cool, but they're one of like the nicest Space Marine chapters. It's nice to see them actually get some attention for once, because I feel like they just get pushed to the side a lot of times, despite being all about flames, being all about dragons, and being the chillest of like the Space Marine chapters. You guys can debate that down in the comments below, but that's what I've read. That's sort of what I've gathered about the salamanders, and I choose to believe that they're like the chillest, nicest of the Space Marine chapters out there. We also, okay, this was the one thing where I'm like, did this get planned intentionally? And if so, gosh dang it, how early was this planned? Because they have this dumb joke about the number of chapters that there are. We all know that there are 20 chapters, but two of them are missing. They are lost, okay? So they put a token that has a number 2 on it as the 18th option on the sprue, because they always number them, right? And so number 18 is the 2 token, and they make a dumb joke about the freaking 18 known legions, the 2 missing legions. Oh my god, and if this was legitimately planned, like if they wanted to make this stupid joke about the legions and their numbers because they knew fans would probably dive into that, potentially completely unnecessarily, like it's just literally them doing a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, but somebody's gonna read into it somewhere and like completely like have a whole theory and like, yeah, just like a whole theory about like why it was done this way. And I really want to know if this was actually planned or not, because, or if this was just circumstance and they happened to get lucky and they're like, okay, now that we have this leak happen, let's find jokes that we can make, which is probably what it was. Let's be real, that's probably what it was. I don't actually think GW is clever enough to plan this level of like a marketing campaign. But who knows? Maybe I'm underestimating them. We also got an interesting sprue that seems to be in the kit, although I haven't seen confirmation of this, and it's a green sprue. Now, they do call out that this could mean salamanders for sure, which is very cool if so, but generally these colored sprues, and they even say this in the website, mean push to fit, which tends to be the stuff that you see in things like Underworld or the Space Marine Heroes line, which I don't actually know, so you guys can tell me down below. Has there been a Salamander Horus Heresy era specific Space Marine hero line that has come out in Japan, but maybe not released anywhere else? I don't think so. I have not heard of that. I like to stay on top of the heroes line because I think they're really cool. So I have not heard that myself. So I don't know if this is a brand new sprue. Now there are some things on it that do kind of look Death Guard. Like this little backpack icon does look like one of the pieces that you put on like the larger like tanks that are on some of the backs of the Death Guard. And this sword, like, or this blade here could just be a random blade, but it does also kind of look like the spikes that you see on the Death Guard sprues. So I am wondering if this is a color corrected, photoshopped piece of art, or if this is legitimately, I mean, this could be for a flamer tank. So who knows, maybe it is legitimately salamanders, but why are they doing push to fit? Why push to fit? I don't think they've done push to fit for Horus Heresy at all, as far as I know.
Wider release.
Maybe that's the intention. I'm assuming it must be for easier access, a wider release. They're wanting to push this like version of Warhammer more, but that then makes me go, why? Because 40K is kind of your main money driver. Is something going on with that you're like gonna change stuff so you need people to redirect their attention? Does this mean we're coming to like the end of Warhammer 40K and we're gonna get a reset like we did in Age of Sigmar? I'm just hypothetically like speaking, I'm just giving out ideas right now, but it's got me thinking. It really has got me thinking, like, what is with this push to fit sprue that's going into this set? And I can't wait to see more details to prove that it is actually salamander, because this is not the green that they normally use for Death Guard, which is why I said it looked color corrected potentially. This is a like much more earthy green, whereas like I feel like, or a more saturated green, whereas Death Guard is definitely more of an army green color tone that they do. So I don't know. This, I think, has probably been the most fascinating thing to me about this entire preview. There is our D18, by the way. So yes, it does appear to be in there. What does the D18 mean? I don't know. They're trying to imply that it's going to like be for a new mechanic for choosing Legion special rules, but that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think that's just them throwing stuff out there to be like, making you think about it, but I think it's gonna probably end up being for something else, because that just doesn't, I don't know why you'd want to roll to choose your special rules if you're going to play the salamanders.
Maybe it's there to count the health on the Dreadnought.
Ooh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's there to count the health on the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought has 18 wounds.
It's a big boy.
I mean, it is a big boy, but like, isn't that like Titan level wounds or something? I have not played
Knight.
Or Knight level. Like that seems excessive for a Dreadnought, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it is. But that is all I have for you for Horus Heresy. We do have a few more things to poke around with when it comes to Warhammer 40K, and then in a little bit, we're gonna be talking about all those beautiful magic cards. I can't wait. Hey guys, I'm just jumping into the video to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I know most of you aren't. If you're into the spicier side of the content, then you should join my VIP page. New members get 50% off their first month subscription, and I really hope to see you there. Now, let's go ahead and get back to the video. Next, I want to showcase an animation that's coming to Warhammer Plus that actually has me incredibly excited because it is set in the Horus Heresy, which I don't think they've actually done. So as we watch this trailer, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, because the thing that makes me so excited about this, outside of it being set in the Horus Heresy, is that it's focusing on normal people within that time period.
We work with what
as normal as a Knight Princept can be, but still, it is your normal humans, which I personally love the stories of the basic humans in both the 30K era, but also the 40K era, but I prefer the 30K era because I feel like they had more ambition, they were out there, they were conquering the galaxy for the Emperor, and so they had just more motivation, they had just a different energy about them. Also, I really like Remembrancers, and I also love stories about the Titans. And this is going to be a story about the Titans on Terra during the Siege of Terra, which I just think is so cool, and I cannot wait to watch this series. It's actually one of the reasons that I'm actually quite excited that I still have the Warhammer Plus app and my subscription to it, because this is a story that I can really get behind. I love them. I think this is super cool. I just wanted to highlight it to you guys. We don't have an official release date of when this is coming to Warhammer Plus. We just know that it's coming soon. So hopefully that means just a couple of months. But I just think it looks really rad and I wanted to share it with you. We've got another Warhammer Skulls preview coming up. Let's see their ad for it and I'll tell you about when you can join me for the watch along. I'm actually really excited for this. Warhammer Skulls is a pretty cool event that happens every year, and I'll let him tell you about it.
I'm Rahul Kohli, and I'm here to let you know that the Festival of Warhammer Video Games is back.
Woo!
And boy, is this year going to be big.
I bet it
honored
is.
to be back for my 3rd year in a row as your host for this year's Warhammer Skulls Showcase, which will be taking place Thursday, 22nd of May at 5 p.m. UK.
And if you want to join me for my watch along, you can join me on May 22nd. But instead of joining me at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, which is when their show actually starts, I'm going to be beginning a half an hour beforehand. So you can see me at 8:30 Pacific Standard that morning so that we can watch Warhammer Skulls together. There's going to be a lot of things. I'll let the video continue, but I just wanted to call out
9 a.m.
specifically when I was going to be
Get that
streaming.
date in your calendars and prepare for
Don't worry, I
whatever
have.
show.
It's fine. I've got it in my
We'll bring
calendar,
you
and now they all do
exciting new
too.
reveals and multiple world premieres alongside the week-long discounts on Warhammer
Which is
video
very
games
cool.
we all
Week-long
know and
discount
love,
on
that is
Warhammer
Skulls.
games? Heck
And then
yeah.
they also
It's a great
do
time to
an
pick something
appearance
up.
from a familiar
Especially Rogue Trader.
Sternguard veteran.
It's really good.
But you'll have to tune in to find out. Trust me, this is one you are not going to want to miss. But in the meantime, here's a little something from the team at Fat Shark to get you in the mood. See you soon.
Yeah! New content. Nice. Tune in at Skulls. Now, as I mentioned, I will be streaming at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if you want to join me for the watch along party, and I think we can be expecting some pretty cool things. Not only, as he mentioned, is there going to be a week-long discount on Warhammer themed games, which if you've ever had an interest in playing anything from Warhammer like Darktide, Vermintide, Total War Warhammer, etc., Space Marine 2 perhaps, Bolt Gun, there's tons of games that you can play. Rogue Trader perhaps. There's a really great way for you to get it at a discount and then play them to your heart's content. And I can tell you, as somebody who's played, I think, all the games that I just listed there, most of which to full completion, if not majority completion, including Rogue Trader, heck yeah, they're really good. They're actually quite good. I actually think they do a really excellent job with these games. And I've already been seeing some hints from the team at Owlcat for what's to come for Rogue Trader. And if you remember my gameplay of that, I only finished it like 2 months ago, and we're getting the Arbite, which I am so excited for, and I cannot wait. And apparently I'm getting an attack bird. I need to know more details, and I'm really hoping we find out more information at Skull. So I hope to see you there. Remember, May 22nd, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or your regional equivalent. Last, but certainly not least, we need to look at the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering collab set. We have been seeing stuff for a while. I've talked about it, I think, in my last 2 news episodes. And gosh darn it, am I gonna talk about it again? And I'm gonna ramble about some beautiful looking cards because I am so ready for this set to be out. It's not gonna be out until June 13th, but we have a lovely little trailer. Let's watch that, and I'm gonna gush just all over these cards. Not actually, I will put them in sleeves. They'll be protected and safe. But oh my gosh, am I excited for them. Oh, Sephiroth, you're so cool. Ah!
I'll ever be.
I really cannot wait to get my hands on these because not only do just the basic cards look great, but all of the fancy art versions of them also look super cool. And it's just so stunning. And it covers like every Final Fantasy you could want. So whether you're a fan of the first one, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th, they've got you covered. It's ridiculous to actually like list it out like that because there are just so many versions of this game.
But no Final Fantasy tactics.
I don't know if
No,
tactics. There's no tactics. Well, you know what? Maybe that's what they'll bring in to like bring the hype back up. Is they'll go, here's tactics and all the other side games that we didn't cover because we were just covering our core Final Fantasy numbered ones. And regardless, I'm just, God, like all of them look so good. All of them look so good, and I love all of the variant art versions because the art for Final Fantasy has been stunning through its entire history. Like, it has legitimately just been stunning through its entire history. So that was the main trailer for the Final Fantasy cards. We also got another trailer that focuses on the Serialized cards. And this legitimately, before we even watch this, I just want to say, I think that despite there being more of these to be able to collect and get, I think the hunt for this particular Serialized card could potentially be more insane than the One Ring, because they decided to make chocobos serialized. And oh my gosh, why do I have no sound? I'm not getting any sound for some reason, but they're not getting, it's like, what?
Is your computer muted?
I don't think so, I'll double check.
Tab?
No, it's not muted.
Is the tab muted in Chrome?
No.
Oh, the volume's really low. Do you have audio on anything else?
No.
We'll check something, Andy.
Oh, sorry, I had audio on the last video I played.
Please get out of full screen.
I am. All right, let me just see. Yeah, because I had audio on this one. Yeah, I have audio on this one.
Huh.
Weird. The audios for this one's gone.
I wonder if they got copyright struck on themselves.
Oh my god, I bet they did. Okay, well that's hilarious.
Well, even some
of
part
this.
of this, not the arguing about audio equipment, but I think this video is just copyright struck.
I think they might have gotten copyright struck on themselves. Okay, well I'm gonna start the video over. And we'll ignore the fact that we don't have audio, because really the audio is not important. It's mostly chocobo noises from what I remember earlier, because like I watched this earlier and it definitely had audio, so I have no idea what's happened. But the cute thing is we have some beautiful full art chocobos, and not just the yellow chocobo, but chocobos in all sorts of colors. And they look amazing. Like genuinely, the foil on them looks great. The coloring on them looks great. I love the way that they look. There's of course going to be a Japanese version. And then of course there's the golden chocobo, which is serialized. And there seems to be only 3 of them available, and they're only going to be available in the collector's English version of the packs. They're not actually going to be available in any other version of the collector's boosters, which I think is just a little bit ridiculous. Like, I wish they were just putting it in all of the various collector boosters, but that's apparently what they're doing. That's what I've read.
There's only 3 of them. How can they put them in all of them?
I mean, I guess I was expecting like 3 for each language, I guess, was maybe what I was expecting, but that devalues the 3 English ones, so whatever. But yeah, if you want to get the serialized chocobo, that's the way to do it. Now, I want to talk about some of these cards, because they did a big, full, like 2-hour-long preview of various cards that are coming in the set. And we got to see some of the full art variants and the normal art variants of people like Cloud, which looks stunning. We also got to see Clive, which I love the fact that when he transforms into Ifrit, he turns into a freaking saga. Like, it's so good. We already talked about the fact that I love that they were treating summons as sagas to begin with, because they're a limited time thing that you can have in the video game, and sagas are a limited time thing that you can have in Magic on your board. So the fact that he has like a limited transformation and then turns back into Clive, that is just so cool to me. I love that. It's just brilliant. Brilliant, WotC. I actually really am really pleased with what I've been seeing of the rules coming out for this, and their the way that they're synergizing with the mechanics in the actual video game. So Clive looks amazing. We have Zodiark, the Umbral God, which just, holy cow. Look at that art. Look at that full art, beautiful, like anime version. Like, oh my God, he just, I saw posters of it. Like, I just want, like, get rid of all the text. Just give me a poster of this art. I think they do that. I'm sure they probably will. There probably will be some really cool posters. I think Ultra Pro actually tends to make like wall scrolls. Oh my God, are they gonna? I'm gonna have to look into that. I wonder if Ultra Pro is doing wall scrolls of some of the full art versions of the Final Fantasy characters, and if so, holy shit, I think I might have to get those. I wonder how expensive they're gonna be. But like, this card looks amazing. Renoa, sorry, I almost said her name wrong, looks also amazing, and Angelo is a freaking token. Like, how cute is that? That's perfect, and I love it. I can't wait to see Squall. We actually haven't seen Squall yet, I don't think, and I can't wait to see what they do for Squall. I love Squall, he's so good. We also have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kefka. Now, this is Yoshitaka Amano's art, hence why it's so goddamn gorgeous. Yoshitaka Amano, for those of you that have not heard me gush about him before, is an amazing artist. He is the original artist for Final Fantasy. He's been with them and is still actively doing things for them to this day. He also worked on Vampire Hunter D, if you're familiar with that. Specifically, I believe the Bloodlust version of it. But regardless, like, God, his art is just partially what inspired me to get into comics, actually, and why I became so obsessed with ink work, because a lot of his work does also tend to be black and white, and it's just gorgeous. This obviously is not, this is color version, but it's all watercolors, which again, I really liked traditional style art when it came to video games, comics, etc. And Yoshitaka Amano kind of embodied that for me for a while. So I just love seeing that his art is yet again being put on Magic cards that I then get to collect. And I'll probably have to buy some of these just like directly, because I'm not gonna be able to afford to hunt for them, because goodness, the boxes for these collector boosters has gone absolutely insane. I think when I bought him, it was 600, and if I remember,
750 now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last time that I looked, and I haven't looked today, so this has been a couple days since I've looked, they were up to 750. So they're going up there. They're really going up there. But I mean, they announced that there were serialized chocobos in them, so everybody wants the serialized chocobo. I would be thrilled if I pulled one, but I am not expecting that, nor am I hoping for it. We also have a really cool, I think this is a land? No, it's a wall, which I know like they have sometimes. Gorgeous art. Like, I just like the focus on both the characters and the landscapes, as well as just some of the iconic things in Final Fantasy, has been really thrilling to see amongst all this card art. And I think they're doing it exceptionally well. Like, this city looks so cool. I want to wander around the Imperial City. It looks amazing. We also have the Golden Chocobo. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was looking at its attack and power. So it's 3 of 2. How many of them are there? Does it tell me on this? It does not, as far as I can tell. 77? Is this the serialized number? Maybe it's this number. But regardless, it's insanely gorgeous. Like, I love the energy, the momentum, the physical movement of this flat piece of art. Like, it just looks so good. The highlights, everything about it. I love that it's monochromatic. That is really, really cool. I love these cards so much. We also have a couple more to look at. Sephiroth, of course, looking just absolutely gorgeous. And this is my favorite. When he turns into the one-wing angel, like, I want to see Kenny Omega recreate this card.
He got to reveal it at PAX East.
Oh, that's right, he did, didn't he? I forgot he was there. Because also Clive was like harassing him, wasn't he? He was making fun of him. That was really great. That was a great video. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. But yeah, so Kenny Omega got to reveal this card, which is super cool. I want him to cosplay this. I want him to recreate this card for me physically in real life. Please, Kenny, if you're watching this, I know you're not, but if you are, please, it would be so cool. Also, look at this Terra art. Like, this, again, Yoshitaka Amano's art, so it's, how can I not expect it to be just absolutely gorgeous? But it is, it's so good, and I love this man's art so much. It is so good. This is another one of when she transforms. Again, she turns into a saga. I love that is how they're handling this with these transformations. I think it's a brilliant way to do it. It really, really, I think, combos Magic and Final Fantasy beautifully together. And honestly, as I look through all this, here's that the Kefka again, still amazing. Here's the other version of Kefka, which still looks amazing. I think this is like partially done with like colored pencils from the looks of it or something. I don't know, but this man's art just ignites something in my soul and I love it. This Clive, so pretty. God, it's just so good. Okay, but what I want to say is as I look through all this beautiful art, I really sit there and go, what is Magic going to be able to do to top these sales, to get even close to these sales again? What IP are they going to have to bring in that isn't going to potentially destroy another card game? Because like I could see in a stupid universe, like Pokemon and Magic synergizing and like basically having Pokemon versions of Magic cards. And I don't think I could see it going the other way around, but like, I don't know what they would do. I don't know what would get people this ravenous for a card set again, in the same way that Final Fantasy has done. And I don't know if that means that I should be legitimately worried about the company and like this game system, or if it's gonna be fine and it's just gonna carry on, but this is just gonna be a one-off and they're not gonna have to worry about it. But like, business people really like to chase. Once they see that they can make a certain amount of money, they like to chase that number and surpass it. And like that becomes like the main end goal. And as I look at this just insane amount of beautifully put together art pieces in a very well done way, a set that I think is going to be received by both Final Fantasy fans and the Magic fans collectively together, because I think this set is just going to be powerful in the game. I don't know what they're going to be able to do to top this, because I don't know if those executives are going to accept that this is a one-off circumstance and they will not be able to hit these numbers again. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm hoping, I am praying, I'm crossing my fingers and going, please let them be smart enough. Let Hasbro's executives, let the Hasbro executives be smart enough to realize that this is a unique scenario, that this is not achievable indefinitely, because I'm really worried that they're going to try to achieve this indefinitely. And I do kind of worry what that's going to do to Magic as a whole, because I like the game. I like seeing these crossovers. I like the Universes Beyond sets, because some of them I think work really brilliantly, like this one seems like it's going to. But this is setting an unprecedented amount of sales and expectation for the executives, and probably even more importantly, the shareholders. So I'm a little bit worried, as much as I am incredibly excited, because it's such good art. So you can expect to see me opening at least the one collector's booster box that I got my hands on here in the very near future once the set is out. I'm looking forward to it. Let's all pray to Nuffle that I have. He doesn't. It's not going to probably work. Never mind. Don't pray to Nuffle. He'll curse me. Pray to somebody. I don't know who to pray to, but I need to pray to some god of randomness that my abilities to pull good cards is good, because I just want to pull some full art Yoshitaka Amano card. That's all I want. I don't care what it is. I prefer if it was Kefka, because I think that card just looks so cool. But I just want a Yoshitaka Amano art. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't care who it is. But you'll have to find out and wait in anticipation with me as I wait for my packs to arrive, which is all coming out June 13th. Let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for Final Fantasy? Have you pre-ordered any of the product? Are you worried about Magic for this? And what do you think of the Horus Heresy leak? Are you excited for the new edition of that? And why do you think they've done one? There's lots of questions you can answer down in the comments. I look forward to seeing them and commenting back and engaging with you guys. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much to both my patrons and my YouTube members for making it so that content like this can continue to come out. Without your support, we would not be able to do this, so thank you very, very much. I've been Angela. I hope you all have a wonderful hobby night, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!